Videoda 10 kelime öğreneceksin. Önce Türkçe ve İngilizce anlamlarını göreceksin, sonra cümlelerde duyacaksın, hatta film ve dizilerin içinde. Sonra bu kelimelerle küçük bir hikaye anlatacağım. 5 kelimeyle bir dünya, sonra bir 5 kelime daha.
Randevu, atama.
Appointment. I have an appointment with the doctor tomorrow morning.
Yarın sabah doktor randevum var.
She made an appointment to meet the new manager today.
Bugün yeni müdürle görüşmek için randevu ayarladı.
They canceled the appointment because the weather was bad.
Hava kötü olduğu için randevuyu iptal ettiler.
Well, we're just about to tee off now, so call the hospital and move my appointment with Mrs. Bellows back 30 minutes.
However, the appointment to the committee of Michael Kitts, who has recently resigned as National Security Advisor.
If you wish to discuss the complaint, I suggest to make a proper appointment.
Alexander.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure, but unfortunately I do have a business appointment.
We were supposed to meet today, but I missed our appointment.
I'm Frank Black from Monroe High School, and I have an appointment with Mr. Morgan.
My father got an appointment next week for you with the Human Resource Department.
I have emailed the library to make an appointment to view the books on the penultimate day of term.
Because I have an appointment on Monday and Friday evenings to check the apartment.
If it still pains you tomorrow, I'll call and arrange an appointment.
Gömmek, saklamak.
Bury. They bury the old letters in the garden at night.
Eski mektupları geceleyin bahçeye gömüyorlar.
Please bury the time capsule near the school tree tomorrow.
Lütfen yarın zaman kapsülünü okul ağacının dibine göm.
He will bury his small treasure under the big oak.
O, küçük hazinesini büyük meşe ağacının altına gömecek.
Have decided to bury excess ordnance lest it fall into enemy hands, keeping only the barest necessities for myself.
Had a fellow write to me not so long ago, wanted to bury his mother here from Tooting or somewhere.
And get it to me so that I could cash it and have my boy bury the old check.
Either we're going to lead the world again in technology, or we are going to bury our heads in the sand.
Should I just bury the past out there with my parents, Alfred?
Okay, so that means that bury me standing is fourth.
Kimyasal.
Chemical. The factory released a strange chemical into the river.
Fabrika nehre tuhaf bir kimyasal saldı.
Please read the label to avoid mixing this chemical with water.
Bu kimyasalı suyla karıştırmamak için lütfen etiketini okuyun.
Children should not touch any unknown chemical at the school.
Çocuklar okulda tanımadıkları herhangi bir kimyasalı ellememeli.
General Apparel West is one of 32 subdivisions of Chemtech America, one of our nation's leading chemical corporations.
So much of it, too, is that we were raised and grown in a chemical place, and you go into a grocery store and you...
It's just gases escaping, or one of the other 100 chemical processes that can happen with involved remains in the first 96.
There are two components factories in a Birmingham chemical subsidiary on the bypass, all of which draw their wages here tomorrow.
They delivered to some kind of small chemical plant, COD, payment in green, and there's 15 trucks out there.
You can't seriously intend to run chemical tests on the Declaration of Independence in the back of a moving van.
And FYI, red wine has a chemical called resveratrol in it, which has been proven to significantly extend human lifespan.
You know, we believe in the establishment of a biological order through the maelstrom of physical and chemical chaos.
They have to deal with oil companies, chemical companies, drug companies, and they owe them.
In rare cases, the technique is adequate, but none pass the chemical tests used to verify their age.
Belgesel.
Documentary. We watched a documentary about animals at the zoo.
Hayvanat bahçesindeki hayvanlarla ilgili bir belgesel izledik.
My teacher showed a documentary in our English class.
Öğretmenimiz İngilizce dersinde bize bir belgesel gösterdi.
She recommended a documentary that explains simple science clearly.
Basit bilimi açık ve anlaşılır bir şekilde anlatan bir belgesel önerdi. Eğitmek, terbiye etmek.
Educate. Teachers educate children to become responsible and curious adults.
Öğretmenlerin görevi, çocukları sorumlu ve meraklı yetişkinler olmaları için eğitmektir.
Parents educate their kids at home and at school.
Anne babalar çocuklarını hem evde hem de okulda eğitirler.
We must educate young people about respect and safety.
Gençleri saygı ve güvenlik konularında eğitmeliyiz.
And I have seen the schools in the ghettos, and we are trying to educate, and yet you're trying to take over our programs?
You will tell me which of my ladies are most like Europeans for dressing like same, and you will educate them in European customs and manner for presentation.
He catched a frog one day and took him home and said he'd calculate to educate him.
Like an old school, new school remix, where you can educate all the young bloods who are lost in their way, right?
Mr. Davis said it was as useful to educate a woman as to educate a female cat.
She still fitted Tom's mission to educate Dogville on the subject of acceptance like a glove.
Well, to educate, to be part of a brave new experiment with a real family, with real people.
I like that my words could educate and inspire, protect.
We are going to flood the state of Mississippi with hundreds of student volunteers to educate and register Negro voters.
I could feed people, I could get them off the streets, I could educate them, and I could put them back into society.
Story time.
On Friday afternoon, I had an appointment with my grandmother at the small cafe near her house. She arrived early, as always, and waved at me from a table by the window. We drank tea, and she told me about a documentary she watched the night before. It was a long documentary about rivers, forests, and how people damage nature without thinking. She said many factories still throw dirty chemical waste into the water. Those chemical substances kill fish and make people sick when they drink the water. After the cafe, we walked to the park and sat under an old tree where she used to play as a child. The ground around the tree was soft, and someone had tried to bury a broken plastic toy there. My grandmother picked up the toy and said we should never bury plastic in the earth, because it does not disappear. She told me that the documentary did not only show problems, it tried to educate people about simple solutions. For example, it wanted to educate viewers to use less plastic and buy products from cleaner companies. My grandmother said that stories and films can educate us more deeply than rules on a piece of paper. While we walked home, she asked me to make another appointment with her next week to watch the film together online. I agreed, because I knew the documentary and my grandmother would both teach me something important about how to live.
Özellik, özel haber.
Feature. The newspaper wrote a long feature about the new park.
Gazete, yeni park hakkında uzun bir özel haber yazdı.
Our teacher asked us to read the weekend feature in class.
Öğretmenimiz derste hafta sonu ekindeki özel haberi okumamızı istedi.
She watched a television feature about cooking simple meals.
Basit yemekler pişirme üzerine bir televizyon özelliği izledi.
He was about to come out with his own line of cologne called Master Smell, which was to feature parts of his own DNA.
2 World of Outlaw championships, 3 All-Star wins, 7 straight feature wins, and he's been driving ASA.
You understand that it is entirely inappropriate to feature a communist leader in the lobby of a Rockefeller building.
No!
It won't be until 1971 that Elaine May will be the first woman after Ada Lupino to direct a feature film.
He translates news and feature stories for such bastions of American communism as the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal.
Savory South Florida Magazine is doing an upcoming feature on the quinceañera food scene, and they're using real families and their caterers.
Double feature, if you're all up for it. So, let's have a great time. Cheers!
Yeah. But faster I book the space and have the screening, faster I can get investors to invest in my movie so I can expand it into the feature.
Can you maybe stop watching full-length feature films in the office and just, like, do your job and assist me?
Captain, the vessel, feature, obviously operates from a central brain complex.
Değiştirmek, uyarlamak, düzenlemek.
Modify. Please modify the lesson plan to fit beginner students better.
Lütfen ders planını başlangıç seviyesindeki öğrenciler için daha uygun olacak şekilde uyarlayın.
We can modify our schedule to include extra practice time.
Programımızı ekstra pratik süresi ekleyecek şekilde değiştirebiliriz.
They will modify the instructions for easier understanding tomorrow.
Yarın talimatları daha kolay anlaşılacak şekilde değiştirecekler.
We were able to modify his hand-eye coordination. We realized he had a...
Should the subject transgress the boundaries of the experimental environment, the mechanism can be used to modify his behavior.
I know where you're headed, but you of all people know how impossible it is for me to modify myself.
We will keep the classics from the old menu, but modify them so the ingredients are either local or things you can grow here.
However, if I modify the propulsion system, we should be able to get enough power to slow her down for re-entry.
Tell you what, if you modify the drawings to show just the mood gun, not the card reader, we'll be happy to represent you.
Well, maybe one of your employees tried to change or modify their unit.
If we could just modify their mortgage, or, I mean, if our student loans weren't so huge, we could borrow the money ourselves.
Uhura, can you modify the probe signals, accounting for density and temperature and salinity factors?
Now it's time to modify your vehicle, because the next leg of the race to Australia is taking place.
Mahremiyet, gizlilik.
Privacy. People value their privacy when they use social media.
İnsanlar sosyal medyayı kullanırken mahremiyetlerine önem verir.
Please respect my privacy and do not share details.
Lütfen mahremiyetime saygı gösterin ve detayları paylaşmayın.
The company must protect customer privacy in daily records.
Şirket, günlük kayıtlarında müşterilerin gizliliğini korumalıdır.
The way I figured is maybe we could get a blanket or a sheet or something and put that down, and then you could have some privacy.
Yes, my outdoor inner sanctum, I designed it myself, provides for me just that extra bit of privacy that an author requires.
If we have problems, then we will solve those problems in the privacy of our own home, not by running to some kind of specialist every time something goes wrong.
We've tolerated your personal eccentricities as well as your need for privacy, and I assure you.
I want to assure you that I understand the privacy of your process, but...
To please respect their privacy and to give them the opportunity to get to know each other without any interference.
Cachet certainly has taken privacy to the next level, and we are so pleased to have had a chance to foster that growth.
Whoever you are and whatever's happened to you, you have a right to your privacy, and I had no right to intrude upon it.
I'm not good for small talk, so I apologize if I'm barging through the doors of your privacy right now.
I'm forced to use that one on occasion because it's the only one that the company provides that offers any level of privacy at all.
Kraliyet, görkemli.
Royal. The royal family visited the small museum in town.
Kraliyet ailesi kasabadaki küçük müzeyi ziyaret etti.
She wore a royal dress for the special school event.
Özel okul etkinliği için kraliyet gibi görkemli bir elbise giydi.
He studied the royal history to prepare for the exam.
Sınava hazırlanmak için kraliyet tarihini çalıştı.
The day after he bought it in London, a dealer representing the Saudi royal family offered him twice what he paid.
My esteemed royal sovereign of the realm, the headman himself.
We will return to Port Royal immediately, not go gallivanting after pirates.
Now that you're up, Your Royal Highness, there are matters we need to discuss.
Oh, look who it is, Her Royal Majesty.
You may be from England, but you're not royal and you have no banking connections.
Now, if Your Royal Highness would be so kind as to open your hand.
No character, no accomplishments, just a royal pain in the ass.
I'm getting pretty tired of everyone around here telling me I'm not royal enough.
Did Ken give you any ideas where you could find this royal dog a home?
Sahne, aşama.
Stage. The actor practiced his lines before going on stage tonight.
Oyuncu bu gece sahneye çıkmadan önce repliklerini çalıştı.
This is the next stage of our project plan this month.
Bu ayki proje planımızın bir sonraki aşaması.
She reached a difficult stage in her language learning journey.
Dil öğrenme yolculuğunda zor bir aşamaya ulaştı.
Okay, and tonight they're helping us take over the entire city of Newark, lighting up the VMA outdoor stage.
The Biebs has had so many iconic trips to the VMA stage, and we thought we'd take a look back at his storied...
They just require an extra hormone given at the right developmental stage to make them male.
We come over here to talk to you about the next stage in your life, and you sitting over doing stupid shit like this?
Next most important thing, you do not, at any stage...
There is no argument that his uncanny displays separate him from the ranks of garden variety stage wizards.
If I give you some real projections, will you promise not to repeat them from the stage?
Crushes their will, and once in a weakened state, leads them to the third and final stage, possession.
Look, I work as hard or harder than anybody on that stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now seeing the beginnings of another stage of human evolution.
Story time.
Lena worked for a small tech company that made a social media app with a new video feature. This feature allowed users to post short live concerts from their phones. One day, her boss asked her to modify the app for a very special client. The client was a young royal prince who loved rock music and wanted to perform online in secret. He cared a lot about his privacy, because his family did not know about his music. Lena met him in a quiet room behind the palace garden, far from cameras and guards. He told her he wanted a digital stage where he could sing for fans without showing his real face. Lena decided to modify the video feature so it could change his voice and add a mask over his face in real time. She also added extra privacy controls so only invited people could watch his secret shows. A week later, the prince stood on a small balcony that felt like a private stage above the dark city. He went live on the app, and thousands of fans joined without knowing they were listening to a royal musician. Behind the screen, Lena watched the numbers grow and felt proud of every line of code she had modified. The prince finished his last song, bowed to his virtual stage, and sent Lena a quiet message of thanks. In that moment, they both understood that technology could protect privacy and still bring people together.
Did you like this video? Don't forget to hit like, subscribe now, and tap the bell to keep learning with us.